to this webinar. Thanks for signing up and joining us. So the purpose of this webinar is to announce the competition that Makers Empire will have with the HP robots Otto, kind of a design competition. So in the chat, I have left the link there for the sign-up page. And also we have a post-survey webinar also down in the chat too. So feel free to sign that up once we've finished. And please reserve your questions for the end of the webinar. Okay, so a little introduction about myself. I'm Luke Henderson. So I'm the Customer Success Manager at Makers Empire. Makers Empire being the 3D design app for schools. And in my role, I make sure that teachers can help their students to learn 3D design through our app. And also a big part of what we do is the 3D printing. So many of us know that 3D printers can be tricky machines to use. So I make sure that our teachers can use the 3D printers and get the most out of the software and the 3D printers. So a quick intro of the rundown of this webinar. We're going to welcome and announce what the competition consists of and give a little bit of background information about Makers Empire, but also about what is HP robots and what is Otto. Then we'll have a look at what prizes are on offer for this competition. And then we can have a look at the app and how you might start with your students trying out some designs for submitting to the competition. So on to the Makers Empire. So Makers Empire is a fun, easy to use CAD app designed for middle school, elementary, primary school students. We've been around for over a decade, and we have customers all around the globe. Many schools using the app and many students using the app outside of school as well. It ends up being hundreds of thousands of designs are being made every day by the students. And we have over 3.6 million users across 50 countries. So mainly we're based in Australia, but also have a large customer base in the US and the Middle East. So if you haven't tried Makers Empire before, feel free to scan the QR code there. You can download the app to have a try. And aside from being a design app, one of our strengths is providing the teachers with the tools they need for teaching, but also for monitoring students' progress. So part of the app is the design part, which is the student-facing part. Then we have the teacher dashboard, which allows students to do things like assign the students, set up the classes, and monitor how the students are progressing through the tasks. They can also assign various challenges to the students, and these are all designed by our learning team in-house, who are seasoned teachers with many decades of experience in the teaching field. And these are aligned to both the Australian curriculum and the US curriculum, and also others around the world. So enough about Makers Empire. I'd like to introduce now Camilo Parapalacio from HP Robots. So he's the EduTech lead designer at HP Robots. So welcome to Camilo.
Thank you, Luke, for the introduction. So yeah, I'm Camilo. I have been working on Otto for over a decade as well. Now, 4 years ago, I have the luck to join Moravia Education as a part of their IP, and now as a designer to create the next generation of Otto, and that's how HP Robots Otto came for. So for the ones that knew, maybe the previous version of Otto DIY was called, it was more like maker oriented, and now that we saw the need to push into schools, well, schools were dragging Otto into the classroom, we definitely started to develop a solution that will fit their needs. So not only in the product side, but also in the software side and content side. That is the most important in educational robot. Then, yeah, well, I know Luke personally. Since I was in China, we met like over 10 years ago, actually, time flies, in Xi'an Maker Fair. It was fun, and since then we have been always in touch. And when I saw that Luke was working for Makers Empire, it was in my radar for a while, and I always loved the app, how easy and gamified it is for the kids to start to 3D model from scratch and create stuff, and how well it's connected with the 3D printing, because that's one thing that we do in Otto, and it's our unique value, and it seems it's very aligned with the mission of Makers Empire, that other solutions don't have that connection with 3D printing. Of course, it's not still like something that it will just be instant. You still have a learning curve, but that's why we promote this contest. At the end of the day, we want to like encourage students to be creators, and a little rewards and a little competition will accelerate things, we believe. So we are very excited to start with these competitions. You will see that along the slides, there's already some inspirations we put there over the years. Otto has been growing. The last 2 years, we have been put a lot of emphasis in this. So that's why we're doing also right now the last week of competition with printables.com, and we just continue this kind of like encouragement to the teachers and students.
Awesome. Thanks for the introduction on that, Camilo. I don't suppose you have any of the robots there with you. I have some
I
here,
do have.
and we have one on the screen.
And Patrick also has.
Yeah. So yeah, this is one that Camilo actually customized, the Pikachu in the Makers Empire app.
Exactly. So you can actually find it there in the gallery if you go by there. This is from the new competition. This is a bit more advanced, but we will talk about that later. But this is something that pretty easy can be done in Makers Empire. It took me a couple of minutes to just start the basic shape, and then it's just tuning how to fit the details like the ears and the cheeks and the tail. But this is a very good example.
No, it looks fantastic and a good example of a use case of how we can use these kind of resources in the classroom. So yeah, this is a big reason behind our collaboration with HP Robots. Since we provide both the 3D printers to our school customers and the software, really teachers are wanting to have more and more applications and use cases. What can I do for expanding the capabilities of my students with using the 3D printer? And so there are many creative designs you can look through on Makers Empire, but really this collaboration is to see what students can do with a robotics kit and the ability to mass customize the 3D parts for Otto. And with the 3D printers now getting faster and faster, we can easily make these parts that the students design to combine them with the electronics from the HP Robots kit. And then we create the new robots that's personalized to each student. So I think it's been maybe a year now since we started this collaboration, Camilo.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have the HP robot Otto Bunny there on this slide. So it was around about Easter this time last year that we launched this capability in Makers Empire.
We should repost the videos. Yeah,
we should. Yeah, especially since it's Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. By the way. Yeah. Hope you have lots of chocolate but not too much chocolate. Okay, so now let's get into the fine details of the competition. So I have a QR code there on this page. It's the same sign up link as is down in the chat. But if you want to scan that QR code to go to the page for the sign up for the competition, there's a lot more details there. You can feel free to scan that QR code. So mainly for this competition, there are two criteria. Using the Maker's Empire 3D design tools, we have two challenges. So the first one there is to create a fun themed character version of Otto. Now we understand the capabilities of the students using Maker's Empire. There may be a small kindergarten student who's first trying their first steps into 3D. So we're not expecting them to do some high-level CAD, even if they can just put a few decorations onto the Otto. That is enough to join in the competition. And we will, when we're judging, we'll also take this into consideration, the effort and creativity of the students. You know, even if they are just making some small, like a mask for the Otto or some accessory that you can stick onto the Otto, this is enough. We just really want to see the creativity of the students. Then maybe as a bit more of a challenge for the older students, those who have a bit of experience with Maker's Empire, we're asking them to make a clever modular add-on. So we know that the Otto has lots of expansions in the kit, and we'd like to see what kind of things people would like to see the Otto do. Maybe some new mechanisms, such as maybe this little shovel that I've put on the Otto. I made this in less than 5 minutes in Maker's Empire. Maybe you can use it to carry the Easter eggs, bring them to you if you're feeling lazy. Yeah, so some accessory that can be attached to Otto that adds some extra functionality. And again, anybody in Maker's Empire is capable to take on this task. Whether it be a functional piece or more of a concept, that's totally fine. Main thing is we want to see your creativity. So with that, the competition criteria that we mentioned, now you might be wondering, is there any prizes? Well, yes, most definitely. We have some great prizes for you in this competition. So here's a bit of a rundown of the competition prizes. So we have first, second, and third place. Maybe even we have some runners up. We'll have to see how many entries we get in the competition. So from Maker's Empire side, what is up for grabs is the class plan. So this is the opportunity to get the class plan for your school. So for 30 students, for a whole year's access to Maker's Empire, that includes all the tutorials, all of the curriculum, which is not open to the free users of Maker's Empire, and even sessions for PD learning for the teachers. This is all included in the class plan, which would usually be around 329 USD. For the HP robots kits, maybe you can explain to us, Camilo, what is the creator kit and what is the builder kit?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So, I mean, we have been talking also electronics kit. It's a synonym of, or as well known for the creator kit. You know, it's basically the kit that has only the hardware and electronics, mechanical components to build the robot while you have the 3D printer. So when you have a 3D printer, the go-to kit is the creator kit, the electronics kit, as also you mentioned before, because that's the ideal one that you have all the components that are not 3D printable, and then you complement with a 3D printer. And then from the start, you are already customizing the robot. Now, we know that not every school, not everybody has a 3D printer. So we have the builder kit that has the basic starter parts to build the robot with wheels, no? Like basic. That one is printed with our own materials, and we certify. We have a farm in Czech Republic where we produce them, and is to give the options to people. Now, the ideal one for this kind of competition, if the schools already have a 3D printing, is the creator kit. Not only because it encourages the use of the 3D printer, but also because it's more affordable. So that one can be a savings already from the start. And that expands for everything. So all the expansions that we include, we have around 4 expansions that will be included in the prices. One for sensors, one for inputs, one for emotions, changing the screen of the robot. As I have, for example, here, you can change the faces, you have an MP3 player, you have a display. And then we have the 4th one, which is the invent one that can make Otto walk and compatible with Lego Technic. And you have already 4 different constructions there. When you combine all these expansions, you can do thousands of different configurations of Otto. Even just with the few of them, you already have hundreds of combinations you could do. Now, with the starter, we see the opportunity in this contest that people will multiply the number of things you could do with just the starter kit. And we already have some extra modules that you can get in our website that you can swap them not only into characters, but bumpers, hats, and different accessories that you can plug into it. So the creator already has all the things you need. Like you have a battery, you have a PCB that has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. That is now with the new app, you could have full control of it, everything, all the components. It has 2 motors with metal gears to move the wheels. It has an RGB LED ring on the top that it can light up and in all different colors. You have the screwdriver, you have all the cables, the USB for flashing, ultrasonic distance. And with all of this, you can already do hundreds of activities just with the starter. In terms of the lessons, we have around 30, but we also have ebooks with different examples that you can do of the coding. So also with the coding, there's a whole new world. So we have a lot of things to do just with the 3D design, a lot of things to do with the coding. And now with AI, if maybe some of you were in the webinars last year, there's a lot of stuff we can do, and we can talk out more in detail about that, but exciting things are also coming in that direction. So yeah, that's basically what it comes. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that very detailed overview of the kits. And just to mention to all the teachers here, so we want to make this competition as accessible for everyone. So you don't necessarily need the kits to join the competition. You can design even without the kits. And also, you don't need a Maker's Empire subscription. So you can sign up for a free Maker's Empire account. You can download the files if you wish to try and print them as well. That's included in the free trial of Maker's Empire. But specifically for this competition, HP Robots have provided some discounts for us. So you can see those discounts on the sign-up page. And perhaps we'll also post those discount codes in the comments section as well once we upload the webinar. So on now to how can we get involved in the competition? How can we submit our designs? So you can see already, this is in Maker's Empire in our gallery section. Already some students are starting to design some Otto robot designs. So yeah, some of these are mine, but we have a nice template there for you to get started, the guy in the middle. And looks like a student also wants to carry a can on the robot. So yeah, even some students start to build some accessories. So if you need inspiration, there's definitely lots of designs there that you can start to learn from. We'll have a look now at the app. So here's a quick preview of what it looks like. But now I think probably best if I jump into the app and then we can see the tools that you can use in there. So just making sure you can all see my screen. Yep,
Yeah,
you can see me
see
inside the app.
confirm.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So when you first log in to Maker's Empire, once you've made a login and account, this is Maker World. This little courtyard here with a few different areas you can go inside. But first log in to Maker's Empire, this will all be gray. Why? There's a good reason for this, because 3D design can be a little tricky if you've never done it before. So first, we make sure that you go into the training lab. So in here, we have a bunch of tutorials, the basic training, which you need to complete before you can start to design. These things focus on the simple basics of 3D design, such as designing in the app. So first, we want to get sure that you know the basics of simply moving the camera around, which can be tricky, especially we're using a 2D screen, and moving around in a 3D environment is quite a tricky concept to learn. But with all of these basic training steps, by the end of this, you'll be ready and prepared to start designing in 3D. So going back into the world, once you've completed that training, you can see here we have the competition arena. So this is where you will go to join the Otto competition. So you see currently this is our current month competition. So not Otto here yet, but we can jump in and see what it looks like. So this is the main design tool in Maker's Empire called Shaper, where we can import various designs and start to make our entry for the competition. So I'm going to search up my Otto template. Not in this competition because I haven't added this one yet. Yeah. But what you can do is you can access those Otto shapes. So if you go down, scroll down half the way, you see Otto parts. And then I can start to add those shapes inside. And as I add each part, it gets stacked on top of each other. And then we can start to arrange the parts as needed, rotate them. And start to build it. We also have the template inside, so you don't need to do this every time. This for demonstration, though, we can show the simple setup. Looks like the light went off in here. Oh, there we go. So simply we can see there like the parts that we have, and we can easily start to get started in remixing. There are many parts from Otto here, but also there are parts for monsters and different accessories, connectors that you can even add some Lego to your design. And we can easily just snap those to the surface of the design. Maybe change some colors, which really start to get designing quite quickly. So for our first part of the competition was to design some character. So easily you can just add some parts here, make the visual of your character. If you were deciding you wanted to make an accessory, have an accessory I made here earlier. And there'll also be various designs in the app that you can take inspiration from. A big part that helps people to learn how to use Maker's Empire is the replay feature. So clicking on this replay, I can actually see step by step how this design was made. So it's basically going through a quick tutorial of how I started to move the parts around and rotate around the design, even slow it down if I need. And fast forward through the steps as well. So I encourage you to go through these designs, check with your students, and this will give them a little bit of information, inspiration to get started.
It would be cool to see the Robotnik, how you did it. You have it also for replay there?
Yeah, so if I go through here, search in the gallery, okay, I have the Robotnik there. Anyone's fans of Sonic, this is the OG Robotnik.
Villain.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the call, it's a little bit like it has some delay, the animation, but if you guys try it with the app, it's pretty smooth. Like it can really show like boom, 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 how every step is done. Maybe with the spin off, it's easier also to visualize. Oh, that was quite fast, the last part. I
Yeah.
didn't manage to catch how you
That's
did it.
that's the sped up version. There you go. I can swipe through.
Yeah, that looks better. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
can really see it. It's very simple at the end. I mean, it has like maybe 20 steps maximum. So
pretty
you can
much.
see that with very little primitive shapes, you can do a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and these are shapes already pre-made in the app, so you can obviously use cut shapes from each other to make your own shapes. You can also use the drawing feature to add some custom shapes as well. But a lot of the parts in there can just be reused, and it's kind of also like a creative constraint, if you will, trying to make some characters with what parts are already there in the app. Okay, so that pretty much shows the process of designing in the competition. Once you have submitted your design in the competition area, then we can go and see those designs in the gallery. So we'll be keeping an eye on this throughout the competition, and maybe we should highlight some of the cool designs that we're seeing on social media.
Definitely.
Yep. And then I'll jump back. Let's see. That was something also I wanted to mention as well. So for our customers here in Australia, we also have the printer sign up, but you can scan the QR code to find out more about this particular thing that we offer. You can sign up for the printer loan, and also HP Robots, you guys also have some pretty good materials that you can use in a 3D printer too. Perhaps you would like to mention that, Camilo?
Yeah, I mean, we also have the license for filament in regards to PLA with HP. Right now we have those 8 colors you can see, and these are the exact same materials that we use in the builder kit. So the blue and the silver you have there is one of the main ones we have in our farm. And maybe for a second stage of the competition, schools would like to print those ideas because we have to also make clear that it's not necessary to 3D print the design to be kind of like okay, enroll or approve to the competition. It would be nice. I think that you can also submit pictures if the students print them on their own. But for this one, since it's like beginner level, the creativity is the most important. Even the 3D printability will be something that we can evaluate later because that requires another layer of learning. And we will have maybe a second session after the contest where we will be curating, Luke and I, those submissions and see what people did, and then they can 3D print them with our filaments or others, depends. But these ones have a very good advantage that they are designed for the fast printers. So like you can print a high speed, and it's very good quality. We have special colors that some of them you don't find anywhere else. The silver has a special texture and special speckles that make it shine better for the LED. So yeah, you can have a look in our website for more details.
Awesome, yeah. And so if you want to go to the HP Robots website to check that out, what's the address for that, Camilo?
Yeah, hprobots.com. I will put it also in the chat, and you can find all our information.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll also put that in the comments too, so you can go and browse that at your leisure. Now, it's not just a new thing, right, Camilo? The Otto, like how many years is it now that since you started this project?
I know Otto has been 10 years. So it's always been community driven. I think the community maybe lowered the participation a little bit in the last years, and that's why we are bringing by these competitions to be like, hey, Otto is still a thing. Otto, you can still create new things, and also for new generations that are coming. Maybe the ones that try Otto maybe play it a little bit and now switch to something more advanced. So now the new generations, we are bringing them back, and now with easier tools. Like when I started, they were not Maker's Empire. They were not like electronics you can plug and play so easily. It was a lot of soldering, sometimes a lot of errors, and we have minimized that to lower the barrier as long as possible. And community now with the printables, as I briefly mentioned, with Prusa, another competition we are doing more in the makers, a little bit more advanced. So you can see already, for example, the Otto D2 in the corner. That's a pretty advanced, but that's to show you like the possibilities. I mean, sometimes it's not to limit on the box, pun intended, of Otto, like the cube is not the limitation, right? You can go beyond that. Now, of course, it requires a little bit of more work, but it can really expand the imagination and the possibilities of what you can do with Otto. Now, as we were mentioning, also decorations, it's a very easy one to jump in. And you could do all this kind of stuff. Not only on the face, but one of my favorites is to work with hats, and you can even embed magnets on the 3D printing, and you can easily swap them into different ones. Right. So that one is a very easy to jump in because you basically just work on top of Otto, and then you do your favorite hat. And from there on, you can start to make it a character and create a story behind. And yeah, your favorite license ones, you can also do it. Like that's a fan-made material that you can, or you can find inspiration on the printables contest as well and see if something is nice and convert them into Maker's Empire, because the idea of this one, as we say, is to start with Maker's Empire app. That's the only requirement. So there's a lot of things out there. This is to show you that there's a community behind that you can grab inspiration from. You can grab stuff and move them into the maker's world, remix them, modify them a little bit, and then it's already an entrance. You don't need to really create something from scratch. So there's a lot of things a lot of low hanging fruits you can grab, and you can like kickstart your ideas, not to be
Yeah,
afraid.
definitely. Huge following and inspiration. I think I remember first the early Otto trying to program it, and I couldn't get its legs to work. The servos I remember back then was a bit hard to calibrate and control, but now with the HP robots design and the education experts, it's become a lot easier to start your journey in robotics. And again, like you say, with this huge amount of designs available online, perhaps even teachers can download some of these from Thingiverse, from printables, download and print them out, show their students to get a little bit of inspiration for their designs for this competition. So yeah, we just have a few minutes left over. I just wanted to remind everyone before the webinar finishes, if you can scan the QR code, and this is the post survey for the webinar. So just to get your feedback so we can improve these webinars. If you have any suggestions of what would be relevant for teachers to improve our webinars, we'd love to know about that. So make sure to scan and show us your thoughts.